This fucking app just fucking sucks. I want to just smash this fucking monitor when I use this bullshit. But why does it change? I mean, it was fine last week. Now it's completely fucked. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. This is my day-to-day. I always gotta figure some shit out. I always gotta have to fix just the basic shit to get through. I don't know, I fucking hate this. So I get why people don't like paying attention to this fucked up world. Get like why they want to zone the fuck out. It's not perfect, but I don't fucking care. This is for the purposes of example. Yeah, there we go. Actually, let's do this. Look at that fucking stupid shit. Alright, now eraser. It's not an eraser. What the fuck's eraser? There we go. No. God damn. I break a lot of things, you know. I don't really respect material objects. I can't. Every time I try, I get fucking double-crossed by how stupid and pathetic the shit actually is. Forces me into that eternal wound of the Uranian field where I can't really get comfortable in this world. That's the closest I can get to explaining it. What the hell, man? What? Fuck. Is there any motherfucking line here? What the fuck's going on? And you know, I worked in IT for 20-some fucking years dealing with this kind of shit for other people. Alright, so form, the body is a square. It's foundational. It is the cube. Saturn. What we're trapped in. What we're given life through, expression through. The medium of life. The triangle here is the mind, thought. The circle is soul, spirit. So within the body, the mind operates. The senses, all the stuff that comes in and out of us. And we tap into the higher realms to touch into the spirit, into the soul. And we cultivate that in life through experiences. In our life, we've got this linear projection path through the subjective eye. Strengthens the mind, the mimicry of observation. You have to interact with this world, so you figure things out. And when you find these peaks and valleys and things like this is the cultivation of the spirit. We get tired of going up and down, you know. It's fucking monotonous bullshit. So people stay down. They find heaven on earth down here. Because they know when they go up, when things get good, it's going to go shit. So they might as well just stay in the shit and try and cultivate that. So Netflix and drinks and all the other libations get cultivated at our lowest expression. The people that cultivate up here, we don't really hear from them because what they have to say is not applicable to us because we're not in that state. The Tao, you know, the Tao Te Ching, any of the spiritual texts that are authentic, written by people that were possessed in the spirit. Now this is the subjective self, the I. Here's the collective expression over here, the pyramid. The base begins, you know, that linear trajectory most of us are trapped in. And you've got this third world, but beneath that, people living in like the jungles and stuff. That's fourth world. That's base reality. It's where we go. Just like there's a subjective eye, there's a collective eye, and the collective eye goes through the peaks and valleys too. It's maturation, cultivation. It's the ages as they progress and change. Collectively, these egregores are formed, these overmind entities which bring expression to psyche. And that expression of psyche isn't just for our cultivation. There's other things cultivating their soul, their spirit, their expressions into reality. And in this like fucked up slam dance of life, we're all intermingling with one another. So people that seem to rise through the subjective expression, people that fall into the possession of the edifice of whatever's established, they become enlivened with the spirit of the egregore, the darkness, the shadows within ourselves which separate us from the authentic I. We co-sign with this shit because we're sick of the shit show, and it's like in the Matrix, I guess. And that guy's eating the steak and stuff, you know, you're like, yeah, I know the world's fucked up, but I can't do anything about it, so I'm just gonna fucking enjoy my life. And I understand that. But when you want the power, when you feel the need and you try and climb in society, you have to sell yourself. You have to become this fucking entity. You become a child of a lesser god. And why is it lesser? Because it's named. The Tao that can be named is not the Tao. That's the mind, the mimicry. It's the only thing that can label shit. So these egregores, they come and go. We're coming into a new unfoldment. This is the transformation of the Ahrimanic expression. Some hold Christ, some hold Lucifer, some hold things that are unnamed. Entities, beings, expressions, energies. I mean, to sit here and pretend that I know or anyone knows any of this shit is just, it's fantasy. But we can name enough things to get a picture that there is a ineffable expression. And in that understanding, all things are possible. It's not an understanding so much as an acknowledgement. But we have to speak on it if we're interested in it. So you have to formulate something that mimics understanding. So here are some patterns I've noticed. And yeah, it looks like crap. I hate this fucking app. This tech sucks. So we've got the fourth world in the jungles and stuff. Third world, you know, the countries who are the initial test beds for all the fucking bastards at the top. Second world are the up-and-comers, the ones that are being exploited and used by first world to suppress third world, exploit third world, and also to promise them first world status when the shit show arrives. And these things are beyond the mind. It's a sense, it's a spirit. It's 100 monkey effect, but you don't see it till it's here. So first world, we're up here, you know. We think we're fucking awesome because we got AC, we got coffee, we got water, we got toilets. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I'm not complaining about that. We got plastic and shitty technology. And then up here we got that eye, you know, the capstone. This is higher mind. This is what happens when mind divides us from truth. When sophism reigns supreme and sophisticated expressions arise. This is where hubris brings nemesis to life. So the ass bastards all live up there. They're in possession, basically, by the egregores. This egregore looks kind of like, it's got buck teeth and stuff. This one's coming into form. This one's got a mustache. It's the only thing I know about this one. The eye is closed. Let me draw this. There we go. Now, see this fucking stupid pointer thing should be touching here. It's touching down here. God, I hate fucking tech. I fiddled with this shit for like a half hour yesterday. Alright, I digress. See, I feel a lot of emotions, and rage is the easiest expression for me. Anger. It's how I get shit out of my system, otherwise I become possessed by it. I would rather release the demons right away, exercise that discordant energy as soon as I can. I can't hold that shit. So we got this pyramid thing, the foundation down here, you know, all the power pressurizes everything else into place. plastic's good because now we're not cutting down trees, right? Seems like a logical deduction. But trees, you know, they're meant to be used, not just enjoyed and honored and all that other stuff. We're here for them, they're here for us. And that's the way everything in life is. It's just all relational. It's power dynamics. If you can't see the sacredness in a tree or in anything else, you can't understand those dynamics. You're just okay with reading about someone else's philosophy on it and putting your power into that idea instead of fucking feeling into it, thinking into it for yourself. So we got this shit going. Now let's trash this. Come on. Why can't I fucking destroy this? God damn. Delete. So now here, the fucking pyramid turned into this. We started like this. We did this thing. We did this thing, then we did this thing. The horizon began to rise over the subjective experience. We brought form into what it was and we deified it, trying to make it sacred, trying to externalize what we felt within us. And then we decided we couldn't do that because we had to tap into this mind. When people became polarized and they started to become more self-centered. Then it rises into the Tower of Bable here, stretching way up, and the wind and all that other stuff, you know, it's like blowing around, and the winds of change here. So here's the power structure. Here's first worlds way up here, second, third, fourth. Still in communion with this rising spirit. Alright, so Tower of Bable, it can only last so long before it falls over. We keep building it up as if this linear trajectory of a perfection in a utopian dream can be achieved. Well, once it falls, who do you think's fucked the most, you know? These people don't give a shit at the top. They're nihilists. Their dream, their self-possession is not their self. It's something else. So when they die, it's no big deal to them. They know that whatever possesses them will live on in the next expression. So first world's going to fall, you know. Second world will fall third, but it's going to fall at different speeds, different impacts. So the Tower of Bable crumbles. Now there's a, let's draw something here. 4. This is a square, basically, supposed to be. And the foundation creates the 5th point. So there's a 5 and 4 here. The 5th point is this. It's the pyramid from the side. You can fucking tell what the hell that is. So the 5th element is reborn. It's a realization of your spirit. It happens to the shit shows of life. We need these fucked up scenarios in order to feel into it in this day and age. Complications arise through complexity. Saturn, father form here. Kind of looks like a 5 a little bit. And Then we've got Uranus, the father of father form, the eternal memory, the link of all creation, the impulse which brings new life and new death. Prometheus. So when Saturn reaches this maturation point where the edifice of control can no longer function because all of time is dynamic, it begins to crumble, fall apart. Traditions. The expression of the fraternal and the maternal powers within us and within all of reality change. So we're heading into a it's the yang of yin right now. We're coming from Pisces into Aquarius. So from yin, yang is rising. So here comes Uranus, you know. If you study metaphysics, if you study astrology, tarot, all these other things, and you're in the Uranian field, you are an Uranian being. If you're holding on to all the old stuff, you're in the Saturnian field. So you're being transformed by the times. If you're Uranian, you're transforming the times. It doesn't mean that you yourself aren't transforming. Of course, we always are. And there's no good or bad. It's just this is how we're dialed into reality. So when Saturn dies or ready to die, Uranus comes in to bring new spirit, to pour the waters of Aquarius, the starlight, into the emotional depths so that they can rise up through all the turmoil and be realized in the being, in the world, in everything. That's what's happening now as the Tower of Bable crumbles. So there's this weird mad dash for this here to eject itself into all reality so that it may live. People want to keep their sentience and put it into AI and put it into these dead mind machines, into memory banks so that they may be immortal. It's like, what good is immortality without the feeling of change? You want to be stuck in a static? You want to do that to an aspect of yourself? But that's their choice. I know people that feel this way. They will want to live eternally in computers, in technology, in AI, in an omni base that is physical, materialistic, atomistic. So now this is what I feel and see from the subjective level. There are levels that are way up here, you know. Crazy ass people are tuned in way up here. We can't understand what the hell they're saying. Few people though have come to mind who have tapped into these things. Phillip K. Dick, John Tully, to name a few. There's many others, I don't remember the names, but there's static mind at the highest level too. You know, we need, in order for this reality to make sense, there has to be duality. There has to be some kind of friction to give rise to form, polarities. So there is a static, solid state mind. It's death, essentially. In the virtue of nihilism, which comes through the decision making of entities, living beings. Do you honor the life or do you honor the death? So there's an energy here. A dying egregore wants to be immortal, wants to live forever. So it recruits the children of the lesser god to give their gift for that idea, that pitch. So when people become possessed, they push narrations which are antithetical to life. Anti-Christ, anti-everything, essentially. If you watch, like, I guess Star Trek, the Borg is one expression. If you've seen the Green Lantern movie, the enemy, the dead thing, that's another one. If you played video games, I mean, pretty much there's always a good and bad, and the bad is absolute hell. It's death. Where a static wants to take hold, and then if you think about it, really, the breath of Brahma, it's the exhale, the inhale. So there is an absolute death for a moment. And at a larger scale, that's the absolute death so new life can rise. But why get caught up in that game? That's like Yuga cycle stuff. We're here, we don't even exist, really, if you think about it in those terms. We exist trillions of times in that cycle. But we're here now as this being, and it's a gift. Nothing else can ever be that, will ever be that. So I'm trying to figure out how to forget all this stupid shit. Let's try that color. Oh my God. Lucky I get pissed off so much, it's like it's hard for me to focus on these things and get fucking caught up in them, because I'm always dealing with some shit. I think most people are like that, because I've seen a lot of subjective motherfuckers in this world. How do we find life? How do we cultivate meaning? At least, that's not the color. This color? This looks red, right? Looks kind of pink. I don't. How do you figure out the fucking colors? That's what I'm trying to do. It's as simple as that for me. I get caught in all the other shit. Some people get caught up in politics and stuff. Or in viruses. Or in what the fuck's being done to fool everyone in this fucking world. Turn them into zombies for their apocalypse. So that we battle one another because our fucking feelings get caught up, because we ignore them so much we don't even understand what they are, and then we just project them into the pop culture bullshit. Dividing people, families, friends. Dividing people from themselves. Sophism is a disease. Everyone gets caught in it at some point. How do you become the I when all the shit keeps fucking up, you know? The conspiracy of the self. The darkness within which creates everything out there. You realize if that darkness can do that, then what can the light do? And what is the light? It's not meant to be given to another. It's meant to be held and cultivated within ourselves. And if another can see it, that's because they're on their path to figuring out their own light. So when other people can't see your quality, your value, and all that other shit, that's says more about them than you. And what does it say? It just means that it just says we're all in our own processes. And I have to remind myself that all the time because I feel stuff and it angers me. I would rather be angry than sad. But you have to learn how to handle your power through these emotions. That's what it is. I get mad at others because I'm mad at me. I don't know how else to say it, you know? That doesn't really look black, is it? I am not gonna fuck with that. Oh well, we'll just go like that. That's supposed to be white teeth. We got some wounds here for the eyes. Some nostrils here. Let this be your new God right here. Meditate on this. See what it does for you. Alright, fuck it. I don't know if I'll post this shit, but let's see if I do.